What's up, everybody? James Duggan of IGN here at BlizzCon 2018. Joining me is Blizzard's Wyatt Cheng to discuss Diablo Immortal. So I want to start with a kind of difficult question. There's a narrative spinning up on Reddit right now that Diablo Immortal is, for lack of a better word, a reskin of previous NetEase games. Obviously, you're working with NetEase on this project. Do you want to address that or contextualize that in any way?
Oh, we've been working with NetEase games from the beginning as a partnership to create everything in Diablo Immortal. We have artists on our side, they have artists on their side, and we work together as a team, as a partnership to create everything about Diablo Immortal. The environments, the characters, the skills, the story. It's a true partnership between the two companies.
Let me ask you, in terms of the fan reaction, was the fan reaction something that you were expecting? How would you classify the reaction? Obviously, mobile is a little bit of a dirty word, but what would you say to folks who are looking at this and seeing how people are reacting to it?
Yeah, I don't think mobile should be a dirty word. I love games. I love games. We love games. Everybody at Blizzard loves games, and we play it on a number of platforms. We play on PC. We play on console. We brought Diablo 3 to 5 consoles now. We play offline. We play card games. We play board games. And the truth is, we play mobile games. And there's a lot of mobile games that we like. And when it came to look at, making a new Diablo game and this opportunity to partner with NetEase to make this, the technology is there where our mobile phones are more powerful than ever. And they are capable of top tier gaming experiences.
Great. Let's talk about the gameplay. I got to play as the Barbarian as well as the Wizard. There's a lot of spells you know and love from Diablo 3. The first thing that jumped out to me is a lot of it is cooldown based. Have you guys ditched resources in Diablo Immortal, or is that yet to come? How's that going to work?
That's a great question. We actually have tried a number of different things, and we're continuing to iterate. So early on in development, just a few months ago, we had mana. And we had gone, in Diablo 3, each class had its own resource. And then we went to the Diablo 2 system where all classes used mana. And then as we were looking at that, we said, hey, mana very often almost acts like a cooldown timer with charges. If you kind of break down the mechanics, and it's not 100% similar, but there are some similarities. Let's give that a try, and that happens to be where development is right now. There's some things that we really like about it. There's some things that we think still need to be addressed, and that happens to be where we are in development. We think it plays great. We think that it still allows tactical use. It still rewards skill-based gameplay, and it's something that we'll continue to iterate on.
Okay, tell me at a very top level, if you had to explain somebody in an elevator, you're in an elevator, you have like 15 seconds to be like, here's how it works in terms of me moving my character as well as using abilities, how that's all fit into a phone.
Yeah, we create a virtual control stick in the corner of the screen. And it's cool because it's right where your thumb is, and it's very sensitive to your movement, which allows us to control your character. And then we can actually create one of those targeting controls on every skill button as well. And that is a input mechanism that's unique to touchscreen controls and feels very intuitive.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I thought that when I was using a charge or a blink, I was very infrequently did it go where I didn't want to. It was like, I'm in a telegraph, I need to get out, bam. Speaking of telegraphs, I was a big fan of the final fight in the dungeon.
Oh, great. Purist the Decimator.
Exactly, yeah. The two-phase fight, the mounting up on the horse, the telegraphs, the you can't stand in this kind of AoE. That's the kind of mechanical intricacy that I really, really like. Can we expect more of that in Diablo Immortal?
Oh, for sure. I think when you look at how boss fights are designed, and this is one of the really cool things about 4-player instance dungeons, is if we know there's 4 people, there's a lot of mechanics that we can do. We can do areas in the ground. We can summon, extra monsters that attack you from the sides that need to be dealt with while you're still damaging, the main boss. We can wrap somebody up in spider webs and have a teammate free you. Those are all options. I'm not saying that for sure. We're still working on the game, and it's still open question. But these are all new avenues for gameplay in the instance dungeons.
Great. The final question I want to ask is about loot. It's kind of a two-parted question. Loot is a core part of Diablo, and I think Diablo 3, of all the things that it does, I think it nails loot in a way that is really modular, really cool, that affects my gameplay, but also makes me feel as though I've got this cool, shiny item. Can we expect the same level of loot? And secondarily, as an amendum on that question, I noticed when I picked up a sword, for instance, my barbarian was still wielding two axes.
It's just a symptom of just where the game's at. We're still under development. Right now, in the demo, when you pick up loot, it doesn't change the appearance of your character. In one of the panels during BlizzCon today, we sort of previewed how we have a bunch of different concept art for what your character can look like. And we have more on the way. So it's definitely our intention that you'll be able to change how your character looks. As for the item system itself, it's still under development. Couple things that are important to us. We want to make sure that there is depth to the system, that there is some meat on the bones, so to speak, for people to really think about how they're going to customize their character. So that's important to us. And we also really like the way legendary powers changed the way that your character played in Diablo 3. And we're looking to do a lot of that in Diablo Immortal as well, with legendary powers that can actually, give a skill an extra charge or change the elemental damage type and some of the mechanics of how a skill works. We love the way that legendaries can be customized, can allow a player to customize their build.
Great. I have so many more questions, but for the sake of brevity, where can folks at home go to find out more about Diablo Immortal?
Thanks, that's a softball.
Yeah.
DiabloImmortal.com.
All right, there it is. Now I'm going to ask him a bunch of questions off camera, but make sure you check out more of Diablo Immortal, and for all things BlizzCon 2018, keep it right here on IGN.